thank you, Madrid Startup Region, for having us. I'm Leonor. I'm from the Ventures team at Plug and Play Center, which is an early-stage VC and also a business development platform. We connect the biggest corporates with rising startups, like the ones that I have here today. So, well, this is my pitch. Now, the floor is yours. Please, Nicolas, if you want to introduce yourself, and Obu.
Yes, of course. Obu is a startup that we were born back in 2015. Since then, we have made a lot of changes. We started with our core product, Stockwatch, which is a logistics intelligence platform. We're working with top clients within Spain, Europe, and worldwide, such as Airbus in the aerospace sector, Talgo in the railway sector, or Iberdrola in the energy sector. But from then, and thanks to the opportunity given by programs such as the ones offered by the Comunidad de Madrid, we've been able to further develop our products and also diversify into other sectors and other products. Like, for example, we have a technical office, and lately we have managed to close a deal and fabricate and deliver maintenance parts for the ITER fusion for energy reactor. And since then, we have also evolved our business model into not only selling products or selling services, but also selling capabilities. In terms of, we have mixed and matched our expertise in terms of software development and also in terms of engineering to be able to mix both and develop new capabilities packaged into software products to be able to sell them to bigger customers that require this kind of capabilities. So all in all, we're a very broad company with broad services that thanks to this kind of programs, we have been able to evolve and grow.
Really nice.
Off to you.
Thank you, Leonor. Altum Sequencing is a startup, a spin-off of the Hospital 12 de Octubre here, close to here in Madrid. And we are participating in the accelerator program of the Universidad Carlos III. And basically what we do is something as easy as quantify cancer cells. We apply our algorithms and our platform based in molecular biology techniques and software development to quantify cells that survive cancer therapies. And that allows the clinicians to better personalize treatment for oncologic patients.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Alberto from Alcyon Photonics. Alcyon Photonics is a spin-off from University of Malaga and CSIC here in Spain, which was created and funded by Viable Capital. Alcyon Photonics, as you are aware, current semiconductors are in a very strong challenge, and as right now there is a huge boost of use and creation of more and more data coming from digital environment. And as you know, current semiconductors, they are in a big problem because it is not clear at all that they will be in a position to manage and use this kind of new data which are being created. So photonics are aimed to be the solution to this problem for managing a huge increasing number of new data around the digital world, Internet of Things, and anything you may think needs a huge load of data. Photonics is to be the solution for managing such data. But the issue is that right now photonics is quite complicated to be applied on these processes, on these new processes, and Alcyon Photonics, which already has an experience with foundries and microchips manufacturers, it intends to create a much easier way to use photonics in this current world. So what we intend is to open new fields of application for photonics by the devices we are developing and the devices we are designing. Okay.
Okay, so we have a great variety of industries, but all of you work with high development technologies. So could you tell us what are the different supports that the community of Madrid gives to this type of startups? So maybe Santiago.
Okay.
Okay.
Start.
Yeah. So we have tremendous help from the community of Madrid. First, at the institutional level, in the the research foundation in the hospital. Okay, they help us a lot to establish the spin-off, and then from the accelerator program of the Universidad Carlos III. Besides that, we obtain resources of the RIS3 program to help startups that basically completely push up our capacities to close the development of our platform. And we also have a industrial doctor grant for a PhD student that is helping us in the development of the analytical software. So yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous help from Madrid.
Okay. And what about you, Nico?
Well, even though we started our company here in Spain, in Madrid, the first 1.5 years of our existence, let's say, we were in Toulouse, in France. And it was thanks to Fundación Madrid +D and the ESA Big program that we managed to come back to Madrid. So thank you for that. That was one of the first helps we had from Comunidad Madrid. But also, more recently, we were awarded with 2 projects from the Plan de Especialización Inteligente RIS3. One through the Innovation Hub, which is basically big investigation R&D consortiums with big multinational companies and also investigation hubs and small SMEs like us. And also, in parallel, we were also granted, within the same program, another project for Instrumento PYME from RIS3, in which it was very interesting because they were in parallel, but they were very different. One of them was in order to keep on investigating our mathematical models, to be able to keep evolving our Stockwatch intelligence optimization platform. And the other one was to be able to create new products, to be able to investigate on new capabilities, on new technologies, in order to be able to develop these new technologies and be able to meet the requirements of bigger companies that would require this kind of technology. So in that sense, very, very interesting, because all these funds have been allowing us to keep evolving, keep growing, and keep developing these new technologies.
Okay.
Okay, in our case here in Action Photonics, actually the support from Comunidad de Madrid was not too relevant. We have to bear in mind that we are invested by Viable Capital, who has invested around 1 million euros developing a photonics company. From the very beginning, we are pre-seed investors. Well, we are invested by pre-seed investors. We were invested even to carry out the proof of concept stage. And I would say that when compared with other regions, the support from Madrid region for this type of companies is quite low when compared, for instance, with I would say Basque Country or Catalonia, for instance, but also with other regions from Europe. And I think that the Comunidad de Madrid is losing a huge potential of many companies, not only photonic type, but we have here an example of other companies which would need for sure a much bigger support, because once these type of companies, they show that they are moving forward, we are in a big issue when compared with European competitors or American competitors, because it is very relevant, very important to have an adequate amount of funding via grants or via investors at the right moment, you know. And the thing is that here in Madrid, at least in deep science-based companies, we are, I think, in my opinion, too far from what it should be done in order to get benefits for the whole region of Madrid from the economy, which can be produced by this type of companies, which need a huge investment. You have to bear in mind that, for instance, for a photonic company, the amount to be invested for any kind of photonic development, it's around 5 to 10 euro millions, not only in Spain, but in any other countries, and receiving grants for 100,025 euros, something like that. In our case, it made no difference. Of course, we appreciate it. We really think it is something to be much appreciated, of course, but I think that Comunidad de Madrid should think seriously about a strategy for raising real deep science companies, which right now I think that the strategy is not existing.
Okay, interesting. What are your thoughts about what he mentioned about the difference in the tier L level of Spain compared to Madrid, to Europe or America in terms of public aids?
Probably, I think that in Madrid for the pre-seed status, I mean, when you are in the really early stage, there is help. But I'm starting to see that probably is for the next step when there is a kind of bottleneck, and the only way is to go to Europe, indeed.
So we've seen that the support of Comunidad de Madrid is channeled in different ways through hospitals, innovation consortiums. I'm sure that in the audience we have a lot of startups that could benefit from this type of support. Could you tell them from your experience what are the benefits of these aids versus other, like, private investments?
In my opinion, obviously, because obviously your opinion will be completely different for sure. Our opinion is that private investment is very focused, is very product targeted, and they seek, at least the ones that we've spoken to, they seek a immediate revenue, which is obviously very fair enough, and they seek for you to specialize in one industry, in one environment, in one product, and be able to extract the maximum potential of that specific environment to the fullest. On the contrary, we believe that public funding, or at least in our opinion, is much more focused on keep on developing the technology, not to be able to have an end product as soon as possible, but to be able to extract the full potential of that technology. Obviously, these kind of programs, they only fund you up to a certain percentage, which means that the other remaining percentage is up to you to be able to find the revenue, which means that it is essential for you to be able to have the knowledge and the expertise and the capability to packetize and monetize that development for you to be able to fund the other part of the program. And so they are obviously, each one in their sense, they're very interesting and very well, impactful for any company, but they do differ in essence, basically.
If I may say something, okay, I really much appreciate your opinion, and I think it's great, but I think that, for instance, in Alcyon Photonics, we were so lucky of having an investor who can invest, for instance, in TRL3. We were invested when we were just before the proof of concept.
But you will agree that that is by far not normal.
Of course, of course. So I would say that I like to reach to that point, okay? Because when I'm Behavioral Capital partner, I'm board member of Alcyon Photonics, and of course it is necessary to invest on those stages and telling the company, okay, don't worry, you have to develop, you have to focus on the product and final sales, but let's talk about making sales in 3 to 4 years, for instance. That is our scheme. We don't seek for sales in 1 year, 2 years, something like that. So this kind of patient investment, it should be boosted. But on top of that, if you want to develop a company coming from deep science, you need millions, apart from the investors, and you have all these EIC accelerator programs, all those fundings which provide you 2.5 million if the company goes there. Actually, I think if we want to create, because we need to think about what do we want as output of all these startup systems, I think that the company, the region needs companies who can create jobs, pay taxes, develop other companies, develop other economies. So, in my opinion, I think we are start having this kind of investors which can do this so early investments, but the region has to bet strong for technologies which already show traction on something, and you need millions. I mean, as it happens in Boston, as it happens in Hong Kong, as it happens in Brussels. So I don't say that our companies, they should be granted for 3 million euros for free.
I believe that even though I believe you're right, that more money should be invested into this kind of technologies that obviously deserve it. I believe that these kind of programs do have a carry-on. And whenever you have managed to complete successfully a program, they will try to encourage you to keep developing and keep evolving, to give you more, to fund you with more money, because obviously it is not easy for Comunidad de Madrid or any other program to find suitable and worthy projects to be funded.
There are many,
but it is quite a challenge to be able not only to fund with 50K, but to fund with more money than that. And so we believe that it is not easy to meet all the expectations, all the requirements, and there are not that many companies that after one program of development will be able or will be capable to continue to get more funding.
Of course.
Particularly in the case of Altum, so this is based in our experience. When you come from academia, the private sector can be a little bit overwhelming, right? And this kind of grants from the RIS3 or similar helps really allow you to work in the best application of your product, to really explore different options. I think that is also really important they help to interact with the clients, because you have this prototype, you have this great idea, but when you have this kind of grants, you also earn some time to really have feedback from your clients and really work in your proposal for future investors. So I think that they are completely necessary.
So from what I understood, public support understands your timing and the different type of expertise. Hopefully we'll have more funds like the Able Capital that are one of the few that understand these timings in development, in getting feedback, clinical validation, etc. So we have a few minutes left. What are the next steps, both in business and financing? Either are you ask for more public investment, private, or more corporate partnerships? What are the next steps in terms of business development? Santiago, if you want.
So now, as a health company, now we are starting with all the regulation roadmap. As you well know, we have a recent experience. You need to obtain all the clearance from the different health organizations to put a health product in the market. And this is in a few years, and as Alberto commented, for that is for what we are looking now. Now thanks to the grants that we obtained in the last 2 years, we were able to place this setup, and now we are working in the validation of it in a clinical trial, and this is now we can start to contact investors to finance this part.
Great. And what about Obu?
Well, we are in the closing stages of we already finished one of the programs with RIS3. We are in the closing stages of the other one. For us, we have managed to, or we are in the stages of packetizing one of the products that we've developed through these programs. For us, it is a constant evolution. So it is continuous improvement. So hopefully, even though we will be able to start selling it very soon, the software itself, we will look for more opportunities to keep on developing, to keep on searching for more R&D consortiums. Now it is a great opportunity with all the recuperation plans, economic recuperation plans. And obviously we will not stop trying to sell, because obviously we are a private company. Our end target is to have the best product out there. with the best technology to be able to capture the attention of the best companies. And we will try to have all the opportunities, or take all the opportunities we have, both public and private, in order to keep on developing and better selling.
Okay.
Okay, for us here in Action, what we expect within 1 year time, we expect to close an interesting investment round, which we expect to be quite relevant. And on parallel, we shall keep working with foundries and other potential customers so that we can finally close our final MVPs and to keep interacting with the market. Okay, so I think it's quite common to all companies at this stage.
Pushing.
Keep pushing, keep in touch with clients and developing what market really needs. Yeah. So that's and get funding for that.
Combine the three, no? So public help, clients and
yes.
investors. This is, I mean, you need to do the three of them.
Okay, perfect. So keep pushing, keep rising, your Madrid rising startups.
Keep rising.
Thank you very much for being with us here today, and thank you everybody for attending.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.